Well, before the break, we heard all about Camden Farmers Market filled with local grown fresh fruits and veggies all year long.
Now, let's get a few ideas on what we can do with some of those veggies. Joining us this afternoon is Gretchen Hanson of Hobos Restaurant in Rehoboth. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And I'm so glad I am here.
So what are we making?
So this is so important because this is virtuous food. It's food that is good for your bone health, it's good for your antioxidants, and it's great for you. But the idea is to make it not taste like health food, to make it taste delicious, to make it taste like comfort food. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a spaghetti squash, and notice that I've roasted these squashes whole.
Okay.
They're 10,000 times better when you do. So Lisa, you're going to take this, cut it open, and we're going to see what that looks like.
What are we making? What are we making?
We're making spaghetti squash latkes, which is like a potato pancake without the potatoes.
And what's in them?
And a romesco sauce. And we're using spaghetti squash, sweet potatoes, quinoa, and flaxseed. So it doesn't get a lot more virtuous than that.
Okay.
The idea now is to make it taste good.
Okay.
Instead of just health food.
Okay. So I'm
cut that open.
that open.
Jimmy, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making the romesco sauce over here. And romesco is a wonderful sauce that's filled with fresh garlic, almonds, roasted red peppers, and lots of spices. So that's going to add a real zing to our dish.
Okay.
What we want to do is we want to incorporate different types of herbs and spices into the squash to make it have flavor, not just taste bland and boring like Aunt Mildred's squash,
Right.
like just butter and sugar and
We talked about Aunt
salt
Mildred
and
earlier.
maybe a little bacon fat
So
for
we'll put all
you,
this in?
Jimmy. So you're going to dump that
Okay.
in. It's all pre-measured,
Right, I'm
all
sorry.
ready to go.
Great.
Okay, should I just
My
go ahead
little
and put
mini
this
ninja. So you're
off
going
to
to just
the
take
side?
those off to the side.
Yeah, okay.
And we're going to look at what that looks like. And then you're going to form the cakes, which I've actually already mixed them in here.
Okay.
You're going to form the cakes from these squash strands.
Okay.
Now this is actually fabulous because if
Yeah.
you get in there and pull that out,
And it's like
not afraid-
spaghetti.
It is like spaghetti.
Yeah.
But when you roast it a whole like that, that's the texture you get.
Okay.
Now let's move this over to the side. And this is our batter mix. You're going to take those, form those into little cakes.
Okay.
And dip them in the flax meal.
Okay.
So tiny little cakes. You want to make them small, an inch, no more.
Okay.
Now dip them in the flax meal. And if they're not dry enough, you can go ahead and dip them in the quinoa as well. And that's cooked quinoa.
Okay.
So what it's going to do is it's going to give you a nice little crunchy, crispy coating on the outside.
How far do we have
so
to
go
shoot
ahead.
this?
Throw it in
It's
there?
already hot. There you go.
Oh.
Do a few more.
Okay.
So this is a little ninja. You're just
Right.
going to put this on the top. And it
Sure
should
am.
just fit right in.
Oh, okay.
Now let her rip.
Just a bunch?
These things are so great. I
Just
love
go
these
ahead.
things.
So what do I want to end up with?
What you want to end up is a puree that looks like this, so you're
Okay.
right there. And then you can adjust the seasoning. If you want it a little sweeter, great. You add a little bit more agave nectar. If you want it a little spicier, you can add a little bit more garlic or cayenne. But basically what you're doing is getting a pulse puree like that.
Right.
And it's a nice topping. Now you can use this for just about any type of roasted vegetable. It's a great topping for all of them.
Okay.
Because it's got a little sweet, a little spicy, a little sour, and a little salty.
And real
Nice.
quickly, I'll let you know if you would like this recipe, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to 1729 North Salisbury Boulevard, Salisbury, Maryland 21801. You can go to our website, wboc.com, or give us a call at 443-880-9116.
Now I'm going to flip these for you, Lisa.
Okay.
We have also going on the stove, we have a butternut squash curry and we have a kombucha squash risotto. These are using different spices to make the squash taste different. So squash is always just a little bit sweet and a little bit bland. So what we've added is a little bit of saffron to the risotto. We've added a little cayenne and nutmeg to the butternut squash curry and a little bit of yellow curry paste. So that adds the zing that you need for these
Right.
dishes to make it taste better.
So
All
how long
right.
should that cook?
Well, they're going to get crispy on the outside, and what I generally do with these is I just crisp them up and throw them in an oven to heat them so
So-
that they're heated through. There's no eggs in this. There's nothing that you can't eat raw.
So how about if we let that sit for just a second? We'll take a break, come right back and jump into it. Can we do that?
Perfect.
All right, up next
Love
on
that idea.
Delmarva Life, we announce today's winner in our Sesame Street live giveaway. Could it be you? We'll be right back.